Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Wednesday, the 2nd of April. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to wish you trading signals. Right, welcome to our Liberation Day special edition of the pre-market video. Now, just to remind you what I was talking about at the end of the, for this week. Last week I was talking about on Monday we had a mildly bearish day, but we had 3 bullish days this week, and the most bullish day was today. Now, that obviously may not be the case. We will see whether or not the day survives the expected tariffs, which are planning to go on tonight. I think what I've got, my information suggests that we're going to be seeing that Trump making a statement about it at 4 p.m. EST tonight, so basically at market close, and then after that, the tariffs will be implemented immediately, whatever they are. Lots of drama, not a great deal of planning, or it's a very, very game show, really. But I think personally, I've written 3 posts about it this week, and I think I've explained fairly clearly why I think this is going to be something of a disaster. And if he does really want to stick with this, and he's prepared to take some pain, then I think we could be looking at a lot of pain. Furthermore, the longer it goes on, the harder it will be to stop, because once America goes into deep recession, and I have to say, in the Atlanta Fed is projecting that the US is going to be down an annualized 3.8% in the first quarter. Now, obviously, we just finished the first quarter, so that will be interesting. Personally, I think that seems harsh, but we will see. And certainly that's an outlier view in the Fed, but it's going to be interesting to see what those numbers come in at. We could be looking at a fairly deep recession here, though. Tariffs could make that a lot worse. It could also bump up inflation and potentially start causing some significant trouble in the bond market. I'm not expecting good things. We will see. On the other hand, it may be that Trump's right, but no one in history has ever imposed tariffs and got what he claims to be looking for here. For what it's worth, then, today's bullish tape is at 81%. We got a neutral day tomorrow, and we got another 61.9%. Bullish on Friday. We've only actually got bullish days. We've got at least a couple every week, but all the way through April. We haven't got a bearish day really until no, we got 2. We got Tuesday the 29th and Thursday the 1st. So we've got 1 bearish day in April. So we'll see how that goes. All right, great. Let's have a look at the markets. Now we've seen a rally here that looks like a flag. Does it look like a completed flag? Not really. No. I had a look at that on the 5-minute chart, and which I may have closed down unintentionally. So let's just open that up quickly now. Right, so I had a look at this on the 5-minute chart, and this doesn't look complete to me. Now, I've drawn in a possible resistance trend line there. It might be that we're going to see another leg up. It may be we establish another trend line. But really, I'm not thinking this looks like a completed flag at the moment. So we'd need to go up a little higher to do that. And it may be that we're going to manage to do that today, despite the fact that tariffs are going to be hanging like a large and sharp sword over the head of the market today. So we'll see. All right. So no current divergence on ES, and we've seen a bit of a retrace since the highs yesterday. And I'm thinking we might have another leg up, or it might be that just the sheer gravity of waiting for tariffs to land forces the market down today. In which case, we got targets to the downside. Now, the ES target isn't that far away. I'll review all the open targets on the indices. NDX strict the Qs has already made the target there. On NQ, this looks like a bear flag forming, not necessarily finished. Looking at RTY, looks like a flag. Really, SPX has had quite a nice rally off the low here. We didn't see a great deal on NQ. We saw even less on RTY. And we saw a bit more on YM, but still not too impressive. SPX did the most impressive job. RTY is closest to the low, and NDX is next closest. I'm not looking for great things here. We do have a series of double bottoms here, but I think what I was saying was this is something I'm thinking might play out if we get good news. And so far, we haven't got any good news. So I'd have been surprised if these were starting to play out already, or at least I'd be wondering whose powerful friends had got the good news before the rest of us did. But the fact is, we're just seeing an oversold rally here. The expectation is this will go down unless good news arrives. Now, it could arrive. Maybe Trump will say he was just joking tonight, or maybe he'll put it back on month while he needs to have a further look at it. Who can say? Would he delay just to be dramatic? Yeah, I think he probably would. So that is a possibility. But I think, having been watching very carefully over the last few days, I'm not thinking that seems particularly likely. It's just a possibility. All right, looking at DAX and the SDX. DAX has got a nice looking double top, which is starting to break down. Hasn't really made much progress to the downside, but we will see how that goes. ESTX, this could be a bull flag, but really it doesn't really look like anything. We've got topping patterns on all of the others. I'm inclined to view this as some kind of a topping pattern. It kind of looks like a bull flag, but in the absence of any other bull flags on the indices, it's hard to see that this would be one. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Okay, SPX. SPX, we're seeing a bit of a rally here. We've broken over the short-term declining resistance. We do have a nice-looking double bottom here. If we do get some good news, we could see some strong rallies here. But we haven't yet reached the immediate downside target from the bear flag breaking down on Dow, and I'd be leaning towards making that first. Looking at the Qs, we've got little rally off the low. It's not been huge, but could be significant. No obvious pattern going higher. Again, we got a nice looking double bottom. Again, there's nothing much saying this is going to break out now, but it's worth looking at. All right, let's have a look at the main resistance here, which remains the daily middle band. Daily middle band is coming down fairly fast now. Obviously, we've been declining for a while. This tends to accelerate on the way down, so we're not actually that far below it. The high yesterday was at 56.50, and the daily middle band is now at 56.68. We could go a little higher and tag that. That is obvious resistance. Break and convert that, and potentially those double bottoms are actually in play. But I'm not expecting to see that today. I would be surprised. All right, looking at the Qs, we've got resistance at the daily middle band at 480.05, and the high yesterday was at 473.63, not a million miles away on Dire. We've got daily middle band at 419.84, and the high yesterday was at 421.28, so we actually managed to get back over it there. Dire's been falling more slowly than the others, so the daily middle band is not dropping as fast. If it starts accelerating to the downside, which I'm expecting it to do, then that should change. All right, let's have a look at IWM. IWM, 15-minute chart. It is a very nice looking double bottom. These are all nice looking double bottoms at the moment. But looking at the daily chart, we're a long way short of the daily middle band. The high yesterday was at 196.66, and the daily middle band is at 203.47. This has definitely been the weakest. It's barely off the daily lower band. Could this be a double bottom? Yes. Do we need to break down below this worryingly nice looking support trend line to get lower? Yes, we do. We've got the open target below in about the 183 area. If we have a look on the others, on Dow, which is the other one with the target, which is still quite a long way below, I've got the target for that in the 384 area. Qs already made target. And you can see that target on here, and you can see we've already made the both targets here, the main and extended. Looking at SPX, SPX still got targets below. I've got those in the 53.90 to 54.40 area, and I'm still expecting those to make target. If Dow goes down and makes the low, chances are we'll see at least the lower one of those tagged here, and we could do that within either of these trend lines here. Although if we were going to immediately get down to the further target, then we would be looking at the lower potential trend line. If we are going to go a lot lower, in the near future, then we're probably going to break all of these support trend lines, and I'm thinking that may well happen. All right, great. Let's have a look at DX. DX still hasn't broken up meaningfully from the double bottom, and I'm leaning against that happening. I think I'd still be happy to see it, but I'm just doubtful. We've been hanging around for too long. I think this is looking for a retest of the low here at 102.75 and probable continuation downwards. I don't think this trade war is going to be good for the dollar's value. One of the aims of the trade war, from Trump's point of view, is to actually drive the value of the dollar down. And I think as it was going down anyway, that looks like a relatively easy job. On ZB, we've broken up from the flag, and we're going to go back and retest the high. I think this is, we might see some bonds going up as a flight to safety, but I'm not expecting that to last terribly long. We could make some higher highs within it, but ultimately, I think this is going to turn out to be bearish for bonds. CL, we've broken up from an IHS with a target in the 75.50 area. It is nice. I was talking about it on Sunday, and before it broke up, and now it is broken up, and it's on the way to the target. I quite like this target. I'm thinking it could make it, and I've got that in the 75.4 area. NG has broken up from the flag. Now, we could form a larger flag here and do another leg down. I'm not expecting that to happen. I'm thinking we're just forming a bull flag here, and then the next move will take us back over the monthly pivot at 4.266. Looking at GC, consolidating near the highs, the 60-minute sell signal has reached the possible near miss target, and once it gets closer to the 70 area, I'm going to be writing that off. It doesn't need to go any further. SI, I've already written it off. That got a lot closer. Again, it looks like a bull flag forming. HG could be a bull flag, or it could be a head and shoulder forming. Keeping an open mind, but I am looking around for a high here. And really, that gets real once Trump starts imposing tariffs and it becomes clear that we're going to see an economic slowdown. I think we're probably seeing an economic slowdown already, but it's not clear. The market still has room to be in denial about it. Once Trump's tariffs go on in a significant way, then it's very hard to see how copper stays up here because it is so sensitive to economic activity. Slowing economic activity is bad for the price of copper. UUSD, nice looking double top, not going anywhere, probably return to retest the high. GBP USD, this could be a bull flag forming actually. I don't have decent trend lines for it yet, but I'll have another look. USD JPY, this could be a bear flag, but it could be an inverted head and shoulders. If the dollar is going to go down though, that's going to make it harder for this inverted head and shoulders to break up. I would say we had a very nice looking little inverted head and shoulders here. I'd drawn in the potential alternate neckline, and we've seen a right shoulder form at that neckline. This means that we've got a larger double bottom here, an inverted head and shoulders here, and if it breaks up and makes the target area, that would actually get us back up into about the 150.2 area. USD CAD, nothing obviously happening here. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go back and retest this low. Australian dollar. Could this be a head and shoulders? It's too large relative to the previous low, which was here. So this is too large to be a head and shoulders, which is a shame because actually it's a really nice one, but it is too large. So I'm not expecting this to deliver anything. It's just an artifact on the chart in effect. NZUSD. Nice little move up here. This could be a bull flag breaking up, but it might need more formation time. KC, still wondering about an ABC, still drifting sideways. So SB has broken up from what may well be a bull flag. I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of this high here in the 20.15 area next. CC has finally managed to break up from the double bottom here. I've got targets around the 9,000 area, and I would like to see those targets made. We no longer have any divergence on here. I'm waiting to see if we get more. ZW, nice looking double bottom here, might play out. Corn, nice looking double bottom here, might play out. We've just broken over this declining resistance. Soy, I was looking for a double bottom as well, but we didn't get one. This could be a bear flag for me. And we're going to be watching that as a possibility. But if it is a bear flag, then we may need to go higher, get up into this support resistance area, 1047 to 1048. We'll see. Cotton. Cotton has gone higher. Could this be a bear flag forming? It could. But we do have other potential alternatives, particularly if we get up into the 69.2 area and start forming a right shoulder, which could give us a pretty nice looking reversal pattern. But at the moment, this looks like a bear flag forming, setting up a retest of this low, which of course would also give us a potential bottoming pattern. Lumber, keeping an open mind on this one, not really doing anything, and my charts are giving me mixed signals. Live cattle, I'm still looking for a retest of the high, but it's possible we could form a larger bull flag than the one that is broken up already, in which case we could do a lower high here, do a lower low, maybe test the monthly pivot, and then go back up and retest the high. Lean hogs is still consolidating and may still need a retest of this low here in the 91.9 area. Okay, great. Let's have a look at questions. All right, no questions. My pleasure as always, guys. We will see how it goes today. Anyway, I've got doing a bigger picture webinar after the close tonight, probably about 3 or 4 hours after the close, and I will be talking about whatever Trump has announced. I'm assuming he hasn't done all this just to play an April Fool's trick. Wouldn't entirely put that past him, but it seems unlikely. So we shall see. So if you're not there at the bigger picture webinar, I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. All right, take care.